All right, let's start again. Hello everyone, this is our fucking top 10 horror movies of the year. This is my husband, and we did the first half of this list over on his channel, so you should go ahead and watch that first, probably subscribe to him.
And this is part 2.
Yes, and this is part 2. I was getting, the video is probably going to be labelled part 2.
Yeah,
Thanks for undermining me.
They could come, they could come in and be like 5-1, this ain't 10.
Well, yeah, I'm going to title it, don't worry about it. We'll edit all this out, don't worry.
I'm the abusive one.
Okay, so top 5 horror movie of the year.
Horror 2018 releases of 2018.
Thank you. Alright, so do you want to go first?
Do I? Mm-hmm. Do I? Oh, this one's gonna shake the fucking core here. Number 5 on my list is Halloween 2018. It was good. It wasn't Drum Dum's good.
No.
Holy shit, that thing with the doctor, go fuck right yourself. That was, oh wait, do you curse on your channel?
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, okay.
More the better.
Yeah, it fucking, no, it was good. It was good. It just has problems, shocker, as every slasher does. But it's the best Halloween we've seen since the first number of the year was a 2. So.
Well, you know me, I don't rate the franchise very highly. Anyway,
you haven't seen much of all of it though.
I've seen bits from when you were going through watching them all over again.
Yeah.
So I've got a sense of the other movies.
That binge.
Yeah.
Ugh.
That little girl in, was it 4 or 5?
Yes.
Or both?
Yes.
Yeah, didn't like her. So this was a good movie by Halloween standards.
I'm doing what Jamie from 5.
Yeah, but weird. What did you think of Jamie Lee Curtis's?
Oh, she did good.
Yeah?
She was quite well. Part of my problem was, take 2. She did quite well. Part of my problem was, like, there was no real, not stakes, but like somebody should have died at the end there. You have all these family members and you're trying to protect this, that, and the other.
Yeah.
Let one of them die and have there be, you know, something to worry about. And oh, see, I told you, this is why I wanted to protect you, because fucking death.
Yeah, I think a couple of people died, but they were.
But not
they
the
were
important
bad
ones.
Yeah.
Not good old Daddy-O with the peanut butter on his nuts. Could be better. Could be better, but could be way worse. That's for certain.
So my number 5 is Annihilation. A little low for your liking, perhaps?
Sure.
It was. I tend to downgrade movies that are so long that I feel like my bladder is going to burst.
Was it that long?
I think it was about 2 hours.
Was it?
Yeah. Which is a good long stretch when you don't know what's going to happen exactly. It didn't have a very typical plot progression, I would say. A lot of it's just wandering and exploring, and I don't know.
It's kind of, I mean, it's kind of in par with sci-fi stuff where you're exploring and finding shit out. And
visually, absolutely stunning.
that third act, too.
Yeah, like nothing I'd ever seen before, to be honest. And I didn't hate Jennifer Jason Leigh in this, but then again, first time watching, I didn't know it was her.
Yeah, in the beginning you thought she was up to no good, and then you found out she was no good.
Whatever that means.
That's a cancer joke, get it?
Ah, I see. People with cancer, you are no good. That was a joke, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the bear scene, Jesus Christ, that was bloody terrifying.
Horrifying.
Yeah, I don't know who figured out that, oh yeah, a predator that screams like a human being would be absolutely pant-wetting.
Yeah, without a face, with a skull face that has a woman's voice and is kind of screaming for help. Yeah, that's... Watch that below the age of 15 and tell me how your dreams work out, because...
I agree.
What is it we're up to?
We're up to 4.
4. 4 is, for me, is Overlord, which was a fucking pleasant surprise, if you ask me. I expected a hokey war movie, but it was a really good war movie. And then, it just so happened to have like really creepy scientific zombie type things. Yeah. And it was really confined, which is, I think that helped the story. It wasn't like they were marching through Europe trying to save all of Europe from fucking these
It was just like the end of their mission, stay alive.
Yeah, like that church is fucked. We have to get that church. Not, oh, well, let's make our way to Poland and clear out all the zombies.
Yeah. I heard someone say that if the Suicide Squad movie had just been a very small, contained type thing, it would have been a lot better than, oh my god, giant laser, the world is doomed.
Did you just mention Suicide Squad while mentioning Overlord?
I'm bringing it up in the context of sometimes a smaller story is the way to go.
Yes. Yes, very much so.
Alright, so my number 4 is Unsane.
Hey, that was my 7.
I don't know, I think it had some irrational frights in there. Like, it really played up the terrifying aspect of psychiatric institutions in a way that I don't think they would necessarily run anymore.
That's kind of always the thing with movies with mental disability, where they're in a psych ward, where it's just like
it's always a total nightmare.
Yeah, this place is this is the real horror right here. This fucking Dr. Schminzelwitz.
Yeah, they always make it like fucking bedlam when, you know, we're gonna spin you around in a chair for 2 hours. We're gonna dunk you in cold water. We're gonna strap you to a bed in a mixed ward for the night and fucking chemically restrain you. That kind of got to me. I felt very uncomfortable watching it, but the story held up pretty well too. I like stalker type stories.
Was it really
Slight spoiler there?
It wasn't really. It was kind of a stalker movie, but yeah, a little bit of a teensy bit of a spoiler.
The moment when they're in the padded room and they're talking, that was a good
That's
scene.
third act stuff right there, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, I like that.
My number 3 is A Quiet Place.
No, do tell.
Because I don't know if you've seen Lights Out.
I've seen the short film that it was based on, which is probably all it needed to be.
Yeah, it does for sound what Lights Out does for light. For as much as you don't want people, like for as much as you're second guessing, like why don't they stay by the lake and stuff like that, there'd be no movie. You have to kind of, some contrivances you kind of have to like let fall by the wayside. Like some of it, like the fact that they set up the red lights to let them know if something dangerous is happening, and I bought it. I bought it and was okay with it, especially like when they grab you by the balls in that opening scene and just say, hey, listen, this is...
I like that they had the balls to off at least one person, although they didn't go for the one that I
hoped
they would go for.
At least one, yeah.
Yeah, I was pretty sure that if there was a baby around screaming and crying all the time, it would be offed.
Yeah, I mean, that was the one scene where it's just like, really?
Yeah.
All right. But it was a fun time. I quite enjoyed it, actually. I think it's sitting on the floor. Can't wait to watch it again. Yay. As you can tell, as it's sitting on the floor.
That's what I think of that movie. So my number 3 is Cam.
Wow, okay.
Yeah, I knew you weren't going to like that. He belches when he's uncomfortable.
They're not gods, I can't do it. They're not gods!
Alright, so it wasn't elevated horror. It wasn't A Quiet Place. It wasn't even Hereditary. But I liked it, and I liked the main character and her struggle with... I think there's a theme of like losing control of your identity, which is a pretty universal fear.
Especially on this channel, huh?
And it chooses an...
Says the girl who has 3 characters on her show.
2 characters, alright? I'm my own person.
Oh man, when Braggart starts taking over and taking donos, we're in trouble.
Spoilers.
Oh, excuse me.
So, I liked watching it, and the main character was likable, and it's an interesting avenue they're going down of... She works in the sex industry, but... Like, they don't play with the whole, you're unchaste, so you deserve to be punished thing. They're not decrying the industry, it's just her own little private horror show.
Explain me how she's a different person.
I don't know, she runs her own business, she's her own woman.
No, explain to me how her channel operates when she's not there, and presto, she's there, but she's not there, and It gets a little supernatural. I don't even know what to call it.
Yeah, I guess that there is a supernatural element to it. I think it's interesting that they don't explain it very well at all.
And it's a complete departure from the movie. Like everything else seems grounded. It's just, oh, now she's gonna have this clone type person that acts a little bit different, a little bit more trashy. Ooh, I'm not used to doing this on the other.
Well, she knows the risks of being a cam girl. It's more that it's doing things she would never do.
Yeah, but you're defending the main character. I'm talking about the offspring, the fucking thing that she has to overcome. Like, is it a metaphor? Because if it is, please help. But why does she have an alternate version of herself that has access to her channel?
Because that's how the people who run the site make their money? I don't know.
All right, so at least show them making the alternates or whatever. And
you want her to come into their office while they're sitting there going, hey, we don't have to pay them.
I guess. It's just the fact that there's two of her.
Well, do you commend the fact that she can...
Show her tits?
No. that she's not only playing herself, but also the creepy clone? Do you think she does a good job?
Oh, as an actress? Yes.
Yeah.
Sure. But that's not the film.
Well, to each their own. I enjoyed it. Okay, number 2.
Oh, wait. Annihilation. I enjoyed it for everything it was. I
enjoyed the movie because of what was in it.
I am wholeheartedly in agreement with everything was shown. No, it was, fucking, where are more sci-fis like this? It took its time or whatever, but especially the fact that we saw it in the theater, that whole experience, like by the third act, the audio and all right, so
number 2.
Number 2, take 3, number 2.
Yeah, the battery died.
Annihilation. No.
Yeah.
So my number 2 is Annihilation. I feel like I've been talking about this for 5 minutes now.
Why is it Annihilation?
Annihilation, it's what sci-fi horror really needs to be. Like, I can't, genuinely can't name you the last time there was a science fiction horror movie that was close to this, like, in years. And perhaps it's just a nostalgia thing, but by the third act, everything that comes together, there's a bunch of questions, and that's some of the best science fiction stuff. And for stuff you mentioned earlier, when it's scary, it's fucking scary. The fucking bear scene is gnarly. There's the scene where they're out in the water and they're trying to look after one another and somebody gets sucked up. There's a lot of Cronenbergian type stuff with people's heads.
With the guts sort of corkscrewing around.
Yeah, like the visuals are just on point in that movie. I couldn't explain you more than 10 minutes worth of this movie because it's really kind of out there.
I was still a bit confused at the end as to what it all means, but apparently it's based on a trilogy of books. So
yeah.
I mean, we could be getting a sequel. Maybe.
Yeah, I don't think whoever produced that and said put it right to Netflix, I don't think they're at all worried about the saga of Annihilation.
But we saw it in theaters. Like, how does that work?
It was out for a hot minute, competing with Black Panther. Nobody cared. Nobody cared. Unless you're in Europe or the rest of the world, then you guys really got to see it nice and early. Criminally underseen, perhaps that weighs it up too, the fact that nobody saw this fucking movie.
Yeah, you get to be a hipster about it.
Yeah. We need more women in movies. This one has nothing but women, and it's actually quite good. Or just complain about Ghostbusters.
Yeah.
That's cool. Just watch that instead. That's fine.
My number 2 is Overlord.
Wow.
I liked it a lot.
Wow.
I'll be honest.
I like it a lot.
Yeah, I like it a lot. Again, as with Mom and Dad, I like the fact they didn't treat it, it wasn't campy at all. They played it dead straight.
Right.
The zombie effects were pretty good. No complaints there. The characters were varied and relatable, and I liked What's-Her-Face, who was in Boardwalk Empire. You don't see her talk much in the trailer, but that's because she's French, so...
Who the fuck was she in Boardwalk Empire?
She's in the first season as this woman called Margaret.
Huh.
It doesn't matter.
It kind of does to me.
Yeah, so Nazi zombies, you can't go far wrong with that, really.
Yeah. Yeah, like it played like a war movie in the beginning, and then kind of didn't, and then.
Yeah, it reminded me a little bit of Dunkirk, where the horror of war is the antagonist.
Yeah, that really should be the case with most war movies. Just this is bullshit.
Yeah.
Anything else that's going on is whatever, but
it's
war
rare that it
sucks.
plays it like an actual horror movie.
Yeah, that's true. But then towards the end, by midway through the third act, they're just like, hey, we're gonna blow shit up, and now it's a regular old war film. So that means my number one, which am I cheating in thinking that we have the same number one? Yep, we got
the same number one.
Hereditary. That's a shout out to Chatty Bobby there.
So, a lot of people say that this movie is very hard to watch, which on its own doesn't really qualify it as a horror movie.
It's too slow for the fast folk.
No, I think what they mean is the dinner scene. That kind of uncomfortable.
I've read slow so many times. I've read boring a bunch of times, and it's just like, motherfucker, what are you watching?
I think a lot of horror fans that, I don't know, go to the movies all the time, they expect something that's not at all implicit. They want good kills and, decent scares. This isn't scary.
This isn't that movie.
In the traditional sense. It's more creepy.
Yeah, creepy and fucking real life.
Excuse me.
You all right there?
I clicked a thing by mistake. Go ahead.
Lighting up a balloon?
It could be.
Lighting up a balloon.
I know science.
There's legit, serious drama in this movie that, unless you've experienced something similar to it, perhaps you don't recognize it as horror. Like you said, that dinner scene.
The scene where she goes outside and first finds
when he gets home from his little night trip. That I thought was presented so perfectly, because he's just glazed over. He doesn't know what to do. He just goes straight to bed.
His first reaction is not to look behind him, but just to go, "Are you okay?" Yeah,
and never even glances. Goes right to bed. I don't even think there's a cut neither. I think they just do like a fucking dissolve of sorts, and we're still stuck on the kid, and all we do is we hear the reaction, and that's horrifying. Like putting yourself in that moment, that's fucking scary.
It was really raw, wasn't it?
Right. As somebody who's experienced fucked up real life shit, they fucking nail it. It's just all the dramatics and bullshit of things that actually happen is done perfectly.
We've seen some shit, by the way.
Yeah. Some real life nonsense. But
granted, we haven't seen anyone's head lopped off, to my knowledge, but
kind of close if you ask me. But
stealth pun?
No.
Coming it close?
No. Get pretty close to that. And then there's this underlying fucking the word I'm looking for.
Cult?
Cult, thank you. Here you go, cult. The cult thing is there, and
some people don't like cult stories. I actually think they're kind of fascinating. I didn't mind the Silent Hill movie being as culty as it was. I mean, the original first game is.
It's not good. Well, yeah, the first game, okay.
I mean, it didn't have to be. They didn't have to be using magical spells to make the Silent Hill universe creepy, but they go for it. But I like cult stories, to be honest.
Well, yeah, it was something. It was something that helped the story along, and it played to Toni Collette's just absolute misery and wanting to have some sort of hope and cling to something. And she was just, her mother had just died, her daughter had just died.
Yeah.
And she was just trying to feel better, because she had been going to these what's AA for depression?
Oh, like bereavement support groups?
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
DA?
I've mentioned this on my Patreon before, but I like that they play with the whole insanity thing without going too far with it.
Right.
A lot of what has happened to Toni Collette's family could be explained by supernatural goings-on, possession, that kind of thing. But it could also be mental illness. So they toy with it, but they never go too far with the, oh, everyone's just crazy.
Yeah, it's not a good horror. It's a good movie. Like, it's a really good movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's stuff going on in the background all the time, and nothing is by accident. You see all these little clues. Yeah,
it rewards multiple viewings too. Especially like you noticed the thing on the first viewing on that street post with the little fucking squigglies on it, or the logo, or whatever the fuck.
Yeah, and there's flies buzzing around, which for good reason you find out later.
The flies pay off. Yeah, it's done masterfully as far as making film is concerned. That the movie's just really done well, and it's, you know, as long as you can tolerate a bit of a miserable story, it's really good. Other than that, the ending is probably the only thing where I'm like, kind of tighten everything up and getting everything done.
Mostly the problem I had was the girls clucking, and again, you had idiots in the theatre who would just do it willy-nilly. Yeah, that. Thank you.
What you mean?
Yeah, thank you.
Yes, that. Yeah, because it was
good video.
It was playing in the surround sound, so you couldn't tell if it was somebody in the audience or the movie. But then every now and again you'd hear it like from behind you, you're like, oh,
some joker.
Hey,
so funny.
You got it, buddy. You got it.
But apart from that, objectively, in my opinion, best horror movie of the year.
Objectively, I agree.
Yes.
So stuff that I left off.
We both left off The Nun. And
The Nun. Go fuck yourself with that movie. That movie had a chance.
Yeah, it was an interesting setting at least.
Yeah. The tone was right, but it just jump scared the fucking nuts.
There's what, 17 jump scares?
If that. You know, the fucking hands through the walls thing, that got old really quick.
Hellfest, we both left off.
Ugh. Oh, no point. No point in any
I saw what it was trying to do.
No point.
Yeah.
No point. And then you find out that the killer's got a family, but we don't know who it is.
It's like a Billy from Black Christmas type situation.
Hellfest 2, here we come.
Yay.
Coming out August 2019.
You left off Mandy.
Mandy,
You're the only one to have seen it all the way through.
Mandy. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not long for these long movies that I'm not into Nicolas Cage just gritting his teeth for 40 seconds and
What do you think? It was pretentious?
A little bit. Looked great. Well-made film, but as far as telling me a story and carrying me from scene to scene, I don't fucking care.
Anna and the Apocalypse we reviewed recently over on his channel, so
yeah.
Go find that.
It just doesn't have a place anywhere for me. It's just like a, yeah, okay.
I'm glad I saw it. It was a fun time.
Yeah, I wouldn't turn it off if it was on the television or something, but I'm not seeking it out.
I wouldn't call it scary at all either.
No, it's not scary. It doesn't know what it is. Comedy, musical.
Zombies.
Zombies.
Yeah.
What did you leave off your list?
I left off First Purge and The Meg, which arguably not a horror movie either.
The Meg's a good time. It's just not really horrific. Yeah. I'm surprised I left that off mine.
Yeah.
Yeah. I had fun with The Meg. I just wouldn't put it in a horror category.
At one point, I exploded laughing. I couldn't stop for 5 minutes.
It's absolutely a fun time. It's just, I don't know. You want horror stuff, horror. If you want horror stuff, it's not.
Yeah, go watch Jaws.
Or Deep Blue Sea, or.
Oh, but you don't understand. The Meg is even bigger than a shark.
And Terrifier would have been my absolute bottom.
Fair enough.
Because fuck that movie. Fuck it.
Now?
He was in the pizza place taunting the girls, and the pizza guy saw him. Like part of the whole horror thing is you're on your own. There's no help.
Yeah, but this is pretty early on. This is before he...
It doesn't matter. He's in a fucking public place just taunting girls at a pizza place at their table.
Is he though? He's just kind of grimacing at them like a mime.
Yeah.
The blonde's the one who gets all up in his lap and starts taking selfies.
It defeats everything that I know about slashers and you know, like you're supposed to be isolated and oh my God, whatever.
Maybe that's
Whatever.
why I liked it. I don't like slashers very much.
Yeah,
so.
fuck slashers.
So that was the top 10, I suppose.
I suppose.
Yeah, I suppose.
Is there anything that's coming out next year you're looking forward to? What about Breitbart?
Oh,
Whatever the fuck it's called. Breitbart.
I saw a trailer for something called Greta, which might be good. I literally saw it last night, but it's about this girl who finds someone loses their bag on a train, so she returns it and they strike up a friendship. But then she goes in the woman's cabinet and there's a ton of bags. It's like, oh shit.
Maybe there's a bunch of hers. There's a bunch of Gretas.
And so that might be good. It's got like a stalker vibe.
Brightburn. That's what I'm talking about. There's a movie about a Superman person.
Breitbart. Close enough.
Please put a picture of Brightburn up when I say that. Brightburn is like Superman if he was bad.
Ooh.
So imagine having all the power and just blowing people up and shit. That sounds sexy.
So yeah, that's about it. I'm bad at wrapping up videos. So what is?
Huh?
Okay.
I've been a CP.
Yeah.